Hi all, thanks for tuning in again, much appreciated. So I thought today I'd give you a little review of my bike from my perspective. So for those of you who don't know, I have a Yamaha MT09 2015 Sport Tracker. The Sport Tracker differs only from the normal model by just a few cosmetic improvements. So there's a number board on the front of the bike. There's number boards on each side. I've got Ross's race number on, not that it makes a great deal of difference. There's a flatter seat which makes the bike taller, much more sort of, how can I put it, you know, this kind of cafe racer style. I've actually taken it off. The dealer gave me the original seat that came with it, and I prefer that you sit more in the bike, giving you a sort of a lower sense of gravity, lower centre of gravity, sorry, which makes the bike a bit easier to move around, in my opinion. I'm 5'11", so I have no problems with a taller bike and getting both feet down, but it just makes it much easier to ride. On this particular bike as well, I have the 3-stage Yamaha heated grips, which are very good. I've not had this beautiful weather at the moment, not had much chance to use them, but I'm sure I'll be very grateful of those when it gets a bit cooler. And also this sort of handlebar brace or strut, which again is part of the Sport Tracker kit, if you like. So what I thought I'd do is just give you a bit of an overview of how I found the bike so far. So I've had the bike for a few months. I've covered somewhere in the region of 900 miles on it, and so far I absolutely love it. Love the bike. Tried lots of different bikes. I don't know if you've seen my previous video, but went through the whole sort of decision making process on how I ended on the MT09, so I won't go back over that again. But tried a lot of different bikes and decided that I wanted something where I was sat up to take some of the pressure and strain off my wrists and neck and back, but with enough go to give me a bit of some excitement. Certainly got the go in this. This is the triple engine. It's an 850 or there or thereabouts, triple, which is a real gem of an engine, a real peach. Revs beautifully, great power delivery, really easy to turn on and off. When I first picked it up, took a little bit of getting used to. There are lots of people say the throttle is a bit snatchy, and in fairness it is a bit snatchy, but there's 3 rider modes. There's A, B and C, A standard and B. B is the softer of the modes. I've got it in B at the moment. Just gives you a bit more sort of on these roads where the road surface is a little less even, a bit more unstable. On the wobble on the throttle, it takes away some of the on-off power feel. Standard is not unrideable, but you have to concentrate a little bit more. And A is just absolutely brutal. It's front wheel up in the air, well, certainly until you're in 4th. That's not my style of riding, so as yet I've stayed away from that a bit. When I first got it, also to calm the it's got Akrapovic exhaust on it. To calm some of the snatchiness down, I adjusted the fueling a little bit. They come standard set to 0, or the CO2 I think, or the CO rating, and I followed one of the guides on YouTube and reset it to 14, which has made a hell of a difference, massive difference. Really smoothed it out, makes it much more rideable. I'm going to play with it a little bit more because I've read other people that say if you put it on 10 it makes it a bit smoother. The 2 side effects of adjusting the fueling is it's given me higher MPG, not massive, but only a little tank on these, get sort of 130, 140 miles out of a tank, so every little helps. But also the running temperature of the engine seems to have cooled it down a little bit, which I'm sure can only be a good thing. So my overall view, sort of out of 10, probably a good 8.5. The cons, if you like, are the you know, it's a cheap bike for what you get. It's, you know, the right side of £7,000 for a new bike with all the warranties and the dealer support and everything else. This comes from Tinklers in Norwich, which are absolutely second to none. Some of the best customer services I've ever experienced in motorcycle dealers. But the downside of having a cheap bike is obviously they've got to cut the cost somewhere. They've not done it with the engine. The engine's fantastic. Some of the weld finish on the frame isn't perfect, but then again, I'm not over worried. You know, I think it's a good looking bike. But one of the things that sticks out is the suspension. It's a bit soft for what it is. I'm not confident enough or skilled enough to adjust the suspension, and therefore I have a philosophy: if you don't understand it, you shouldn't touch it. So I'll stay well away from that. But one of my future upgrades will be suspension front and rear. That said, I've not had a problem with the bike. I'm not a particularly fast rider. I have no real feelings to go and thrash it round a test track, although Snetterton's just down the road from me. What I wanted was a bike that, and again I covered a little bit in my previous videos, a bike that kind of does everything. You know, it'll go quickly if you want it to go quickly. It's nice to ride slowly if you want it to ride slowly. If you want to do distance, it doesn't cause you massive problems, and it doesn't. And if you want a quick blast with your mates, then it will keep up with anything that any of the big sports bikes have got to throw around. So yeah, overall, absolutely love it. Great bike, absolutely love it. Would I buy another one? Yes, I absolutely would. Would I sell it if I wanted another bike? If I could afford to keep it, again, I would keep it. So hopefully that's been of some use for you. If there's any more info you want, then give us a shout. I'll do my best to answer the questions that you have. Or if you want any particular images of the bike, what I'll do is I'll throw up some stills so you can see what the sport track looks like, although you may be able to catch a bit of a reflection in the windows there. But yeah, look, once again, not a long video, but thanks for tuning in. Hopefully it's been of use. A lot of the videos I've seen looking at the MT09s, or FZ09s if you're in the States, are all about how you can get the front wheel off the ground and how you can wring its neck. But by no means am I that style of rider or want to be. So this is a bit more what I'd say is a normal rider, but you know, what's normal? Again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheers, bye.